Hi everyone, welcome back to the Cocktail Vlog. I'm Steve the bartender, and today we are judging the week 4 of the Coffee Cocktail Challenge. It's already halfway, week 5's underway, and we're getting some great submissions. It's fantastic to see. Plenty of people are getting involved, and today we've got 3 fantastic cocktails to look at. And I'm gonna just jump straight into it because I know the last couple of judging videos have been about 20 minutes long. So I've tended to waffle on a little bit and sent a few people to sleep, including my wife behind the camera. So we're gonna start off with the story of 3 beans, which scored 625 votes. This one's by Yuri B. Truly a delightful sipper. Star of the show, Mr Black, brings robust spices and chocolate notes. The Scotch adds smoke and maltiness, while the Luxardo Maraschino delivers cherry notes, and the lemon zest makes for a bit of brightness. Each ingredient highlights the flavor profile of the 3 types of beans utilized to create Mr Black. Enjoy it with friends and family next to the fireplace. I really like that approach that Yuri has taken and paired up the particular ingredients to match with the flavor profile of the coffee beans that are used to create Mr Black. That's a brilliant concept. I really like it. Thinking outside the box. So let's get straight onto the drink and measure out some of the Mr Black. 52.5 ml, which is 1 3/4 ounce. Add that straight into the shaker. And then next we've got a blended Scotch Whisky. In particular, he's called for Naked Grouse, which is a blended Scotch Whisky that's finished in an Olorosso Sherry barrel. So it's gonna add a little bit of fruity notes to the whiskey. So measuring 37.5 ml. 1 1/4 ounce. Then we have Luxardo Maraschino Liqueur, 7.5 ml, 1/4 ounce. I'm meant to be putting this into a mixing glass. So, transfer it into a mixing glass. And fill with ice. Add ice and stir until diluted. You can smell it from here. Really strong coffee notes, a little bit of fruitiness from that whiskey. And then it calls for a few dashes or a spray of absinthe. So I've just lightly lined the glass and straining over the top. Straining over the top, straining into the glass. Then finish with a twist of lemon. There you have the story of 3 beans. Cheers. Oh, coffee at the forefront. That little bit of anise is quite an interesting touch, but you get quite prominent notes of the cherry. A little bit of fruitiness to it as well. Delightful. On to cocktail number 2, the Winter Wanderlust by Rajesh K, which received 614 votes, only 11 behind the first cocktail. Winter vibes from Jamaica, being the rum. It's actually a blended rum, but there's a bit of Jamaica there. India, which is a Chai Cream Liqueur, and Australia, the coffee liqueur. Perfect drink for holidays. This is meant to bring humans closer to divinity. Bold flavors of rum and coffee mixes quite well with spices, which includes ginger, cloves, cardamom, and peppercorn, which all comprise what we call required ingredients for a masala chai, creaminess and sweetness of chai cream liqueur. Feel free to try as a replacement for eggnog, a favorite for holidays. Cool. This is a nice and easy 3-ingredient cocktail. It calls for 30 ml, 1 ounce of Mr Black cold brew coffee liqueur. And this time it is actually a shaken cocktail. So measure that straight into your shaker. And 45 ml of a lightly aged rum. In particular, Rajesh has called for Plantation 3-star. And thank you, Tim Kirkland, for using By the Back Bar. 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. Straight in. And then we've got a Chai Cream Liqueur, which is a rum-based cream liqueur, so 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. Feel with ice, give it a shake. Can already smell that chai, the cinnamon and spice and clove. Super thick and creamy. And that is garnished with 3 coffee beans or a shaving of chocolate. Quite like the look of this one, looks nice. Cheers. Oh, that's got some punch to it. I don't normally like my creamy cocktails, but I've never tried a chai cream liqueur before. And it's got a lot going on there. It works really well with the rum, and that is a rum-based cream liqueur as well, so it partners perfectly well. Strong coffee notes. It's gonna be a close call. On to cocktail number 3, last but not least, we have, I think I say that every single time, we've got Mr Black's Coconuts. It was actually originally called Mr Black's Nuts. Had a little bit of a name change. That finished on 496 votes, and it was by Karen T. This easy to drink martini highlights the smooth Mr Black flavor with the undertones of coconut. So, does call for this particular speakeasy style martini glass, but it's pretty sure this glass is 250 ml and the ingredients are 240. So, I don't think it's gonna fit. So I might have some left over, which is not really that big an issue. I don't mind. So this recipe calls for 60 ml, 2 ounces of each ingredient. First starting with Mr Black cold brew coffee liqueur. Straight into your cocktail shaker. Then it calls for Malibu, a Caribbean rum with coconut flavor. Many people refer to it as a coconut rum. So same measurement, straight into the shaker. And coconut water. Again, 60 ml, 2 ounces. It's a lot of liquid in the shaker right now. And then we have 60 ml of espresso. Whoop, that is hot. Two ounces. Fill that shaker with ice. And give it a hard shake and make a nice foam. feel like this could make 2 cocktails. There's so much liquid in here. I don't think it was meant to be 2 serves, but I'm pretty sure it is going to work like this. And with these particular ingredients, it doesn't really have like a nice fine bead. It's quite big bubbles in this one, but actually it's pouring out with a nice texture. I could probably get another half a cocktail out of there. It doesn't call for a garnish either. So they have 2 Mr. Black's coconuts. That actually makes sense. Maybe that was meant to be 2 drinks. There's only one in the photo. Mr. Black's nuts, there's 2 of them. It makes, it makes sense. It's kind of like a caramel kind of color, because it is diluted, not diluted, but the color's diluted down from the clear Malibu, as well as the coconut water. Cheers. Now that I've poured it out, measured it into the martini glass, it does have a nice crema. Quite a nice coffee coconut aroma to it. I actually don't like, admittedly, for those who've been watching the channel for a while, I've used coconut water a couple of times, and you might know that I don't like coconut water. It's actually really light in this, but because there is quite a high volume of coconut water, I feel like the flavors are diluted a little bit. So I'd prefer maybe a little bit more intensity. But now let's go on to the judging. All right, the scores are in as per usual. I will leave a link to the full breakdown for the different points based on taste, presentation, originality, and creativity. It'll be on coffeecocktails.com.au. Check out the website, go vote for other people, even if you don't want to create your own cocktail. And if you're game, if you're up for the challenge, then submit a recipe of your own. I'll leave all the links and all the information in the description, of course, as always. A little bit of feedback from the cocktails. So the first one, which was the story of the 3 beans, I like the creativity behind like highlighting the ingredients of the beans that are actually featured in Mr. Black. A lot of points for that. I like the thought process and the creativity behind it. It worked really well with the naked grouse, which has those added complexity and those fruity notes. A lot of chocolate fruity and coffee notes to it. And then second of all, we have the Winter Wanderlust. Those particular flavors, like the chai liqueur, I was pleasantly surprised with that. I know my wife, she definitely picked this as her favorite. She's a big chai drinker. So those flavors and the complexity and the cinnamon and spice, clove and everything played really well, and it makes for a delicious creamy cocktail. The last one on the end, I think this was a little bit hard for me because I'm not a big fan of coconut water, although those coconut flavors didn't come through too prominently. I do think the flavors weren't strong enough, unfortunately, and it was a little bit more subdued, so it didn't highlight those coffee flavors from the Mr. Black. So out of the 3 of them, I decided to pick the story of 3 beans as the winner, the cocktail number 1. I was pleasantly surprised with the fruity chocolate and coffee tones, and it was a good choice of whiskey as well. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and enter the coffee cocktail challenge if you game. Cheers.